Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're doing a capacitor replacement. Been wanting to do this for a while. I've had issues with the people I've been ordering capacitors from. One of them was a notorious eBay one that had 5-star reviews, 100%, real good. All of a sudden decides not to ship it out. So, luck of the draw, I got it. So, went ahead and got on Amazon. Got some new capacitors here. Went ahead and got 20 of them, so I know I'll be doing it again. And this capacitor right here, you can probably see it's bulged out a little bit there on the top. That's a bad one. Before I decided to replace this, I did test the board. It powers up, it displays, it works. I could probably get away with a little bit of time on that capacitor. I'm not going to. I'm just going to replace it. It's an older motherboard. It does have the AGP. I do like the fact that it's got the serial ATA or SATA. You got bank there and bank here. It's a nice little MSI board. The NS754 socket. Haven't got to play with this one yet. And I have everything for it, so replace the capacitor, build it, see what it can do, go from there. Now to do the soldering, I got a nice little silicone mat here. It's real nice, real easy to clean. The nice feature about it, find a screw laying around here, is magnetized. That way you don't lose your stuff. No, that one's not magnetized. Is it? Yeah, that one is. It's got a little magnet to it. That one's not. Little strips up here are. It's got magnets in it. Not super strong, but they hold it in place. I went ahead and got the bigger silicone mat because it holds the board as best as I can get. Nice little storage bins here. They don't always stay closed, which I don't expect them to. It's silicone. Stuff moves around. Then, for the soldering iron that I'm using, with the camera here, using that little guy. It's a handy little unit. It was $100 on Amazon. I mean, it's well worth the money in my opinion. As I bump that around. So I got the heat gun up here. Kicks on. I don't know if you can really hear it. Heats up super fast. And whenever you're done with it, shuts heat off. As you can see, the light's dimmed. Then once it cools down, it'll turn off. Just like so. Got the, oh, I haven't used that one in a while. I can smell it. Got the DC power. You can actually apply voltage, like LEDs, fans, whatnot. You can play up to 15.5 volts. Real handy. It's how I was able to test my Samsung TV, see if the LEDs were burned out or not. Worked out great. And of course you got your solder iron here. Heat it up, set your temperature, whatever temperature you want. I'm probably going to go up to about 400. See if that starts to melt the solder first. Let that go ahead and heat up. It doesn't take long to. Got your sponge mat. Every now and then I use that, but not very often. It is handy. Got your brass cleaner, or mainly it's just a kitchen sink scrubby. So you got the little brass scrubby in there. We've got some resin in the bottom of it. Brass tip cleaner and with resin. It does help out quite a bit, keeps everything getting clean. That way all you gotta do is stab it in there. Comes out clean. I got the solder wick. Where is it? There it is. I don't know if you guys were able to see that in the camera shot or not. Yeah, you were. Okay. Just making sure I had all my bases covered so you guys can see this. What else is there? I got all kinds of goodies for this. Got the solder suckers. Yes and no, they work. I've never really had the best luck with them. What I used to have, I wish I could find it, was a soldering gun that had a little red bulb on it. And you heat it up, squeeze that bulb, just slowly squeeze the bulb, then once you heat it up, the solder and it's melting, you just release it, it'll suck it right up. Best thing ever. Wish I could find another one like that. Probably could if I dug around long enough. I also got some No Clean T3 solder paste. Haven't used it, but it does expire after a while, so I don't even know why I bought the big bottle. Probably because it was cheap. Got all the tips for this. Came with all the tips for the soldering gun. It's got the leads for the probes. It also works as a voltmeter. You measure voltage and also send voltage out. Just gotta be careful on how you hook it up, otherwise you're gonna fry stuff. Got different tips for the heat gun. Came with the tweezers. Find them. They're there. Little screwdriver, tweezers, solder sucker, tips, more tips. You can see those have been used. Got some more solder paste there. Big old tip. All that. So, get that stuff out of the way a little bit and get on with it. I also got solder. Lots of solder. Now, I know California hates lead solder, but I actually prefer it. It melts and flows a lot easier and smoother. Try and find that. That's becoming almost extinct. So, got what you got. Yeah, so that's stuff I prefer. It's a 6040 resin core leaded solder. That stuff flows amazing. I try not to use that unless I absolutely need it to be perfect. And I do have some more 6040. Got that. It's already got the 2% flux in it. That one works pretty good too. Now, onto the job. So now that we isolated our capacitor that needs to be replaced, probably going to get a few hit shots back in my head or something while I'm doing this, I don't know yet. So we isolated which one it is. Be this one right here. So I'm going to flip it around. There it is right there. So let's see if this will heat it up or if I'm going to have to go hotter. I usually like to try to heat up around it. See if it's going to melt. I might have to change tips here. Or this one is going to fight with us the whole time. Now on the bottom of it, I got my finger around it. I'm trying to wiggle it out, and that one just popped out for me. This might actually be a pretty easy one. Knock on wood, right? Let's see. That one's being a little stubborn. I'll come back to this one. Yeah, that one just pops right out. This one is going to argue with us. I'm trying not to touch any of the traces around here. Not sure if it's moving or not. Oh, there we go. Clean the tip out. It looks like 400 degrees is just about right on this. It's not super hot and it's not too cold. At least according to this soldering gun. There we go. Well, capacitor pulled. Clean that tip before I put it back. Well, you can kind of see there. Looking through the viewfinder, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this. Hopefully you can, but where it's bulged out there at the top. Eventually these will start leaking, causing further issues. If you notice here, you got a negative sign here. So obviously that one's going to be positive. Typically, I'm going to line them up. So your negative is going to be on this particular board. It's going to be the white. Well, makes sense. White to white. Now that I got that out, got a little bit of residual solder left in there, so I'm going to go through with the solder wick and try to pull that out. This Chinese brand wick doesn't work the greatest. I'm not very happy with it. Never been my cup of tea. So my old one, I preferred that much better. Lay it on top of it, kind of move it around a little. Now this stuff does get hot, obviously. Copper is a great conductor of heat. Very time consuming on this. And we're not having the best of luck with that at all. So, see if I can't cheat a little bit here. Do a little experiment here, see if that's going to help me out at all. Doubt it, probably just going to make a bigger mess. But we'll see. I got a little bit of tip cleaner on there with it. See if that helps out a lot, or any. Come on, cooperate. It might be helping. looks like it's helping out quite a bit actually. Kind of surprised. Basically what you want to do is clean that solder out of there so you can see the hole all the way through. I'm going to hold it up to the light so I can see it. Well, almost see all the way through it. And unfortunately I got a little bit of solder that decided to go through the other side. So, do the same thing over here, see if I can capture it before it flows back around on me. And it was that one right there. Okay. Well, that one is clean, so now I just need to clean out the other one. So, what we do here, adjust the camera a little bit, that way you guys can see. Get the solder sucker out here. I know I hate this thing. So basically you push in, latch it, it's locked. Push the button, sucks it. You can see it's actually going to work. By holding that, you pull your finger up and it sucks the rest of the way through. So, I'm going to put it around the one that's giving me issues. Get up the solder on this side. Get that. This is where you need 3 hands. Put that around that one, heat that one up. Did not get it all. Try this again. Not sure if we won or not. Oh, barely. So, it looks like I'm going to be fighting that the whole time. Another option I've played with is a thin piece of wire. See, Chinese wire. It works. I'm going to pull a little strand off of there, kind of loop it around on itself to make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, this is just trace wire, but this will work for this. .10mm thick wire. Super tiny. We'll wad this up on itself. So I'm going to put it together, wrap it again, get a little thicker. Put a little bit of flux on it. Help it adhere to this. That way it's got something clean that the solder can transfer over to. I probably should have made this a little longer, but hopefully I don't have to hold it too long. Okay. Okay, now we got that. Go back to our problem child here. That one right there. Get over here so I can see it. Let's try to pull it out. There we go, got a little bit. That is working better than the solder wick. wish I had some speaker wire. This would be perfect for that. And I just soldered the wire right to the board. There we go. I think I got the majority of that out. Not quite. Getting there. Cut off some of the solder wick and start with a clean slate. Maybe now that I actually got a little cleaner, it might do what it's supposed to. Okay. Need a bigger table. Of course I said that and I built a bigger table. Now I need an even bigger table. I was trying to. No, I don't want to solder that to the board. Thank you. Seems like I'm having better luck with just the tip of this. There we go. I think I got about as clean as I'm going to get here. Looks like maybe I got it. Not quite. Getting close. Alright. Now I'm going to do it from this side. Okay, so I'm going to hold this up very carefully, as you can see. And yes, this is a well ventilated room. I have a fan going in the background, as you can hear. Okay. I got the one cleared out. See daylight through that one. That one I might be able to just kind of wiggle around in there. Ever so carefully with these tweezers, just kind of pop it through. Solder's still too thick, so got another little piece of wire here. Maybe I can coax it to come out. Making me nervous how long it's taking that to heat up. I don't know if that's going to work or not. Does not look like it. Okay. Back to this. I'm just applying a little bit of pressure on it, trying to get that solder to heat up and melt and transfer to the wick. That's all I'm trying to do. So I believe I still have a little bit of flux left in that one. There we go. Okay. Well, I have a small hole through there, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. So let's find out. Okay, so now that I got that all rearranged, I've got the caps out. I'm just going to kind of tear that one off. Kind of lightly peel it out, or some of those actually stick pretty good and other ones not so well. This one is stuck. Pull the tape off of it. Make sure it's getting clean. You don't want that sticking through. Try to keep it as clean as you possibly can. We got the white and the negative. Obviously it's going to be a different cap than the one that came out of it. I'm not replacing the same junk caps that this board had on that one, that particular cap. So your short one's going to be your negative one. Your long lead's going to be your positive lead. Line it up. My eyesight is not the best here. So that hole is not completely cleared out. That one is. So I typically don't like doing this, but I'm going to reheat the solder a little bit on the other side and gently coax this one to go into it. At least I do have one hole that's already cleared out. Everything lined up here. Okay. I get that one to go through here. Clean the tip. There we go. So far so good. Get the other lead lined up best as I can. And didn't quite get the other one lined up just yet. Well, maybe I did. I just got my finger on the back of it, keeping a little bit of pressure on it. Not sure what's going on with this one, why it's not wanting to go through. Probably don't have it lined up just right. There we go. Got it. So why it's going through all the way now is because what solder I had stuck in that hole decided to stick to the lead, which is a good thing. I'm not complaining about that. It means that hole is now clear, which is perfect. So now that is tucked in all the way. It's still pretty secure in there. It's not coming out very easily, but you still want to keep a little bit of pressure on there and make sure it's good and tight. Now, what I usually do is kind of pull these, spread these out a little bit to help keep it secure in there. It just gives a little bit of tension there. You don't want a lot, otherwise you're going to damage the cap. Clean my tip and get some solder going here. You want clean surfaces whenever you're doing this, so that way the solder will stick. You don't want a horrible amount, but you do want that solder to flow all the way around it. As you can see on these, you got very fine soldering points. That was all done with a computer, or machinery obviously. It wasn't all hand soldered like this is. So add a little bit of heat there, get the solder to flow. Can't tell. My eyesight is not the greatest, people. One eye's nearsighted, the other's farsighted, so no depth perception at all with this person. That's why I did not play football. You can see that solder is already burning itself onto the iron. Gonna wiggle it, make sure it's getting tight. Now that I know that one's soldered in there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I do have a good connection all the way around. Oh, scratch that. I need to heat that one up one more time. And it's stuck to the iron. Looks like I need to add just a little bit to this other side here. You don't want to glob the solder on here, otherwise you're going to create an arc point where electricity is going to be able to flow from one side to the other, and you're going to fry the whole thing. Not just the capacitor, likely. Be everything. Okay. So I do have a little bit of excess solder on there. That's okay. They'll get trimmed off when I cut the leads. Now that I'm done with that, turn off my station. Somewhere in this organized chaos, I might change my channel to Organized Chaos Computers. Let me know if you guys like that name. I'm up to changing everything around. It's part of life, right? So, I do have a pair of small side cutters, but they have grown legs and walked off on me. One more place to check. And I do not have them. Okay, well, sorry about that, guys. So, I'm going to use these on the side. Trim it down flush. And watch your eyes, because these will fly if you're doing this at home. These side cutters will even cut. Okay. that is not going to work. Well, I will pause this till I find them.